Thank you, Hewie, and welcome everybody. I see we have the people who are the instructors here, as well as a whole slew of attendees, so that's great. We're going to be talking today about information security, the latest and the greatest, and I'm going to try to make it a little more entertaining than just a droll subject. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you now, okay, and we'll go on my desktop. And let's see, circle is okay, here we go. All right, so now, let me just make that up. Okay, so we're going to talk basically about three very important aspects of information security: passwords, encryption, and VPNs. Because of all the increase in hacking and the use of information systems, it gets pretty nasty now out there. But when we talk about passwords, we all have our bane about that. We should create passwords with at least 8 characters or longer, and that includes not only letters and numbers, but special characters, okay, such as question marks, ampersands, whatever. Include upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Avoid using your address, your name, your birth date, your nickname, and don't use the same password everywhere or reuse old ones. Now, I've tried to be creative with some of my passwords, and here are some examples. I don't use these anymore. I have others, obviously. But if you read them, it reads, "Oh, I see you 812," or "T for 2 and 2 for T." "He ate it for you." "I forgot it." That's my favorite one. "What's my password?" "Gee, I forgot it." Oh, that's what it is, right? "You are for me and I am for you." Or "Did you see one too?" So you can make these things and you should change them periodically. But a couple of years back, and I mean about at least 5 years back, this gentleman here, a night show host, which I'm sure you all know who he is, he's going to talk about passwords. And the thing is, what is your password? So let's sit back and enjoy this 2-minute video.
We've been hearing a lot about cybersecurity lately, largely because of what happened.
Raise your hand if you can see and hear it.
Companies and individuals are more concerned about the safety and privacy of their information than ever. President Obama has unveiled a number of new proposals this week to crack down on hackers, and he plans to address this in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday. And it's great that the government is working on this, but the truth of the matter is we need to do a better job of protecting ourselves. The most popular password in the United States is password 123. And as long as that's the case, we're vulnerable. So today we sent a camera out on the Hollywood Boulevard to help people by asking them to tell us their password. And this is how that went.
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon.
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School.
Oh, when did you graduate?
In 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Have you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she was my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1?
Like my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6/12/95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468. And then Israel. It's only 3, but it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gemma, 1, 2, 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
So
like what's a good Italian password?
my grandma's name.
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the important thing is they learned a terrible lesson. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Did you know there are things other than pornography on the internet?
All right, so as you can see, that is one example of having our passwords, the way we create them and what we do. I'd like to bring you forward here and talk about encryption. We only have 20 minutes, so we'll get whatever we can out of this. And encryption basically is a method by which information, data, whatever you have, is converted into a secret code, and that hides the information's true meaning. Now, when it's encrypted, it's known as encrypted data, but unencrypted data is when it's decoded, or also known as plain text, which happens before and after the encryption is done. All right, and encrypted data is called also ciphertext. So I'm going to show you another video over here on what is cryptography. In other words, what is encryption?
Cryptography, the art and science of secure communication in the presence of adversaries, has been around for thousands of years. One of the earliest instantiations of cryptography, the hieroglyphs, can be traced back to 1900 BC in Egypt. Although hieroglyphs are not the best example of secret communication, they can be considered as the first attempt at mystery surrounding communication. In 486 BC Greece, the Spartans used cytales to send sensitive messages during times of battle. Both the sender and the receiver had identical wooden rods, so that when they wound the leather containing the letters around it, it revealed the correct message. Caesar's cipher, a simple shift encryption technique, was invented around 60 BC. The ciphertext is obtained by shifting each letter down the alphabet by the same number. Once you know how encryption works, this cipher is easy to break. Just try all possible shift values based on the current alphabet. For example, it would take 26 attempts to break the encryption of a text written in English. In 1797, Thomas Jefferson created a wheel which consisted of 16 cylindrical wooden pieces with letters. The recipient had to look for the one line of letters that would make sense by scrambling and unscrambling the words. This cipher can be brute forced by hand. Given sufficient time, it is of course no longer secure in the era of computers. In 1918, Arthur Scherdius invented one of the most famous cryptographic machines in the world, the Enigma machine. It consisted of alternating mechanical parts that produced varying electrical circuits, so the secret key was connected to a unique electric pathway. All in all, it is the polyalphabetic substitution cipher which made Enigma's security extraordinary. However, in 1943, one of the greatest mathematicians in the area of cryptography, Alan Turing, designed the bombe, an extremely sophisticated ciphering machine which was used to break Enigma. Looking back at this journey, we can see how the evolution of cryptography is driven forward through a sort of cat and mouse game. Each time an encryption algorithm is compromised, a new one which is computationally more challenging to break is put forward. Another crucial development is due to the widespread use of computers and artificial intelligence. It's clear that a strong theoretical background describing the requirements of a secure crypto system is needed. In 1948, Claude Shannon, who is considered the father of modern cryptography, authored a groundbreaking manuscript which changed the way people saw cryptography. He formalized the three goals of modern cryptography: secrecy, integrity, and authenticity. A solid theory has been developed for addressing what it means for a cipher to be secure, and it's based on 7 principles. These principles gave rise to modern cryptographic algorithms, like DES and triple DES in 1975, RSA in 1977, AES in 2001, and ECC in 2005, to name just a few. Such modern algorithms are computationally secure. No other theoretical weaknesses make the algorithms less secure for practical purposes. And of course, brute force attacks are not practically feasible. The advent of side-channel analysis brings a whole new dimension to cryptanalysis. Even if a device is mathematically secure, their physical implementation can still be exploited. In 1998, Paul Coker, Joshua Jaffe, and Benjamin Yu from Cryptography Research Inc. analyzed the power consumption of a DES implementation in order to extract the secret key. giving birth to the concepts of simple power analysis and differential power analysis. Their work starts by collecting power traces during the execution of the cryptographic operation, and then either trace operations are examined using SPA or the traces are statistically analyzed using DPA. In 2001, a new approach exploiting the electromagnetic radiation of electronic devices was proposed. It was found that magnetic fields can unintentionally reveal information about the cryptographic operation in the same way power consumption does, thus enabling side-channel analysis attacks. In 2015, a group of researchers from Newcastle University performed an acoustic attack on Enigma. They exploited the fact that the keyboard of Enigma produces more sound than modern PC keyboards, and all these movements of the internal rotors respond to the key press. Eventually, they managed to break Enigma with a success of 84% just by using a PC and a microphone. Side-channel analysis enables us to break passwords without breaking the underlying algorithms.
All right, so there's been a lot of technical stuff on that. However, you understand that the security aspect of having encryption is very important. And I would just like to remind you folks out there that if you are ever in a public area like an airport or a mall or even a coffee shop that offers free Wi-Fi, it is not encrypted, and that includes our libraries as well. So if you're going to go with your laptop or your device into a library or a public place that offers free internet Wi-Fi, consider this and do not, and I repeat, do not use it for banking or health purposes or anything personal you don't want anybody else to know, okay? Because if it's not encrypted, it can be sniffed out of the air, all right? And just to put it in non-technical terms. All right, well, the last thing we want to talk about is VPNs, the virtual private networks. And these are, they really mask who you really are and where you're from, and it encrypts your data automatically. So it's first used by financial institutions, banks, brokerages, insurance, but it's grown to now to our desktops and our laptops because not only do we work on them, but we have certain things we do on them that is not considered to be, something that if it's divulgeable won't hurt you. You could be severely hurt by having information stolen from you regarding your checking account number, your credit card number, your personal information, your mother's maiden name, your birth date, etc. So VPNs help protect this information if you're transmitting it. That means that if you are in an area outside that has a Wi-Fi, don't use their Wi-Fi, use your own Wi-Fi if you can, or hop onto your phone and then use your VPN on it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about VPNs, and that should wrap us up.
Let's face it, the internet has a love affair with acronyms. Your ISP gives you an IP so your computer can access the DNS via a URL coordinated by the ICANN. Are you kidding me? The reality is that the average internet user doesn't understand all this, and if you're part of that group, don't worry. It's not critically important for you. There is one acronym, however, that I believe every person who owns a computer should know. VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. What is a VPN and why is it important? Let's dive in together and find out. Over the next few minutes, this VPN video reviews Ultimate Beginner's Guide to VPNs will run through a number of different topics, but if you want to skip to one in particular, you can use the time markers you see here. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Why a VPN? It seems like almost every week there's a front page news story about somebody's email getting hacked, identity stolen, or privacy exploited. Get used to it. This is our new reality. It's more important for us to secure our computers nowadays than it is for us to lock our doors. If you've known anybody who's had their identity stolen, you know that it's not a simple wipe and replace. It takes years, sometimes more than a decade, to recover from identity theft. So what can you do to protect yourself? Well, there are a number of measures you can take, such as updating your Facebook security settings or creating long, secure passwords. But one of the easiest things you can do today is start using a VPN. It's not foolproof, and despite the marketing, I don't believe we're ever completely anonymous or totally safe on the internet, but it is the best step you can take to secure yourself online. Well, then that begs the question, what exactly is a VPN? A VPN, again, a virtual private network, is a means to encrypt or secure your data to keep it safe and to add a layer of privacy to protect your identity. Without going into too much boring detail, here's the way you can visualize a VPN. Imagine that this is you on your computer and the cloud is the internet. Normally, your computer accesses the internet directly via your internet service provider. While this connection may be fast, it's rarely secured and it's very easily traced back to you. When you access the internet via a VPN, imagine that your connection is routed through the internet via a secure tunnel to a server in another location, sometimes in a different city, sometimes in a different country. At this point, the server accesses the internet on your behalf. The benefit here is that not only are you keeping your data safe, you're also masking your location by making the internet think that you're located where the server is, not your actual home or office. Initially, VPNs were developed for corporations that needed to protect their sensitive data being sent over public and private networks. But ever since WikiLeaks became a household name, the personal VPN market has rightly grown by leaps and bounds. What most people don't realize is that not all VPN encryption is the same. You might hear terms like OpenVPN versus PPTP, or 256-bit encryption versus 128-bit encryption. It's not important for you to understand all these connection protocols. Just know that the higher bit encryption rate is better than a lower bit encryption rate, and frankly, some form of VPN encryption is better than nothing at all. Now, in the real world, what does it look like to use a VPN? With a VPN, I can jump on the internet at my favorite coffee shop and be confident that all the passwords I'm typing or the websites I'm visiting can't be intercepted by a hacker sitting in a corner sipping a latte. A VPN can also spoof or trick the internet into thinking you're in a different location. For instance, I may be logging on to my computer in Bangkok, Thailand, but with a VPN, I can spoof my location to, say, Chicago or Paris. This is important if you travel a lot and like to use services like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Pandora, any type of streaming service that restricts content based on geolocation. Now, let's stop for a moment and consider the reasons not to use a VPN. I mean, if a VPN is so important, why isn't everybody and their mother using one, right? Great question. There are a few reasons why this is the case. First, most people don't realize that something as simple as using a public Wi-Fi network outside their home puts their security at serious risk. I'm not being an alarmist here. It's scary easy to snoop on computers over a public Wi-Fi network. Second, some people don't like using a VPN because it naturally slows down your internet speeds. When you begin encrypting and rerouting your internet traffic, there's just no way to get around a loss in speed. Finally, personal VPNs cost money. Sure, there are free VPNs out there, but as they say, nothing is really free. These free VPNs, they either display tons of ads or sell your information, which is exactly the opposite reason of using a VPN. The paid services aren't crazy expensive, but for some reason it's been a deterrent for people. Allow me to conclude this explanation of a VPN with these thoughts. First, a VPN is not a connection to the internet, it's a secure way to access the internet. Good news, a VPN is often really easy to use, even if you don't consider yourself tech savvy. Finally, if you use public Wi-Fi at places like a coffee shop, an airport, a church, your local grocery store, anywhere, you should seriously consider a VPN. If you want more information on VPNs, I suggest you check out our VPN FAQs, where I cover commonly asked questions, our VPN reviews, where I also show you the pros and cons of the most popular VPNs, and of course our step-by-step VPN setup tutorials. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I welcome your feedback in the comments below. Take care, and don't forget to secure yourself online.
All right, so I hope that was entertaining to some point. Okay, well, you're very welcome. I hope everybody enjoyed that. And if you have any questions, you can get in touch with me through STUG, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. So have a great day and stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, Paul.